How's it going, everybody? I'm back in Fallout 4, again at Abernathy Farms. This time I'm actually going to be building a small shack, or like capsule slash shack slash defensive post or whatever for Danse. And so I recently said in comments that I actually didn't think I was going to build anything for Danse or like uh, X688 or Deacon or anything like that because I didn't want to kind of mess up like the story because it kind of doesn't make sense to have these characters in a settlement. But I guess this is kind of going against like what I was saying by building Dance's house, but somebody wants to see it. I mean, there's got to be people that want to see a house for Dance. So, uh, I figured that I would build it. And so I just wanted to use one of these capsules because I feel like Brotherhood are pretty set up. They usually don't just build up structures like how a regular settlement would. Brotherhood kind of move into things and then like set up, uh, become more defensible and stuff like that. And so to do that, I felt like I needed to have a pre-built structure, but in a settlement that has literally no pre-built structures, that's kind of hard to do. So I thought about building in USO. There's in the miscellaneous structures tab, they've got a bunch of like pre-built house, or well, pre-war houses that are kind of destroyed that you can actually place down. And I thought about doing something like that, but it doesn't really fit in with this settlement at all. Like, why would there be a house out here? Why would there have been? So, to kind of not break any of that, uh, I decided against it. And I just went ahead and built him up a small shack in a capsule. Uh, but I really liked the way that this turned out. I wanted to make it look a little bit scrappy, a little bit set up, more defendable. Because even if you built this structure by itself in a settlement or something like that, it could still work uh, anywhere. Even if it wasn't like a Brotherhood house or for Dance or whatever, you could really just use this structure anyway. It's kind of a filler shack as well. It could be used as a filler shack, kind of like a lot of these structures. You could use the one that I had for Piper, I guess. You could close off the front, and it would be like two separate rooms in a house. And you could use the Nick Valentine's Valentine Detective Agency building that I built. And same with Hancock's house. You could use Strong's shelter. You could just get rid of all the blood bags and all that crap and just fill it up with regular things that humans would use, and it would be good. Uh, Kate's house, you lower it to the ground and stuff, and you could easily use that. I mean, that's a pretty basic structure. The thing that just makes it look a little bit better is the arena out front. That's what makes it look so much more interesting. Uh, but I really wanted to make this look a lot like a Brotherhood like settlement. So to do that, like there's only one set of things I feel like that make a Brotherhood settlement stand out compared to the rest of like the settlements in the entire game, and that's the walkways. In USO, in structures, the fences and walls section under military, they have the actual walkways for like the ones that are outside of like Cambridge Police Station and stuff like that. And so I kind of wanted those out front of Dance's house, uh, so he can just walk out on those and kind of get a better view of the distance and defend the settlement, you know? And so wanted a stairwell up there, realized that that is a backwards stairwell, and then I find the right one, and then I actually try to go back and find the one that I had previously because I thought that I had maybe found the same piece because I don't know directions. And then I realized that it's hard to see how to put those on if you're way below where you're trying to place it. So I built some stairs up and just placed these stairs and the little curve of the walkway right next to this. And instead of using the filler pieces, because in the military section, I believe that there's filler spaces for that small gap between the two walkways, and so instead of using those, I use plywood to make it look a little bit scrappier. And you have to get the angle right because if not, it sinks below the like metal pieces. I'm not entirely sure why. I might have one of the sides lower than the other, but uh, it works uh, if you get it to the right angle at least. And so on this end, I wanted it to go a little bit further, but I didn't want supports going into those rocks because I think that that kind of looks a little unrealistic. Not everything that I build looks super realistic, but I'm kind of a stickler about things like glitching through things that don't quite make sense. Like if you had wooden beams that are going through concrete, that doesn't make sense to me. And kind of to avoid that, I always try to like cover the base of that beam or whatever. Like if you look at my sanctuary treehouse video, I avoided the concrete with all of my beams except for maybe two or three, and on the bottom of those beams I surrounded those with concrete pillars, or not concrete pillars, concrete they're just cinder blocks. I don't know why I keep trying to call them concrete stuff, but with cinder blocks I surrounded the base of that so you can't quite see really like what the pole is on. You know that it's on concrete, but like the the cinder blocks kind of make it look like the pillars actually kind of supported by something else rather than like going into the concrete. But instead of having pillars go through the rocks on this end, I actually just had wooden supports come out and it ended up working really well. And then I got a double staircase and I put it right on the side. I tried to get it at the right angle so that it wouldn't glitch through those rocks. And I realized that probably could have been a lot easier if I had moved that post to begin with. I did realize that later. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with that junk wall, but I didn't do anything with it. I ended up going with Aslam's junk wall pack. There's these like curved ones. And so I really wanted to do that because that left side of that thing, of that walkway, is kind of curved off. And so I wanted it to kind of look like it wrapped around it all without just filling it in with multiple junk fences. And I really like how this looks. Because most Brotherhood structures, if you go to Cambridge Police Station, like that's almost like the exact same thing that they have. Is they have that walkway all the way around the front of the police station, and then they have junk walls kind of blocking up the front, and also they've got barricades and stuff. But I also wanted to put a place for Dance's power armor bench because since he's in the Brotherhood and wears power armor all the time, I wanted him to be able to have a place to work on his power armor. And so I just kind of put that concrete staircase, like walkway area that I used as like a porch on McCready's tower over there with some plywood on top of it. and then I go ahead and pillar glitch a power armor station because it won't actually like put it on top of it on its own for some reason. I just go ahead and pillar glitch it on top, and I didn't want it too low so that the wooden beams wouldn't, or the wooden plywood wouldn't clip through or whatever. And then I wanted it on this side of the house. I thought about putting it on the actual like front of the house, like where the window was, but I went against that because I thought maybe there would be too much going on that side, and it may have blocked up the window and the view and stuff. I just kind of wanted that side open. I don't know, but yeah, almost done. There's only a couple more details. The reason I actually did put Dance's build in here though was because I knew that somebody would want to see Dance's house built. Uh, I had requests for X688 and I was just like, no. It's because I really don't like him as a follower. I didn't think he was that interesting. I mean, like he's got his own story and stuff, and that's cool. But I liked some of the other followers a lot more. But my main thing was I really don't know how to build like Institute kind of stuff, and I don't really feel like X688 is gonna live in a settlement like this, especially just being a courser and stuff. I mean, maybe like a small like little outpost or something like that, but I know in this playthrough I'm not gonna be going with the Institute. But here's the full tour. As you can see, with nicer weather, it looks a lot better. I put a little fire barrel up there. It looks all set up with some barriers and junk walls and stuff. And then the interior of the house looks a lot bigger with that like just small extra wall. And then up here on the barricade, I actually just put some ammo crates because, like I said, he can get up here and defend the settlement from up here. And then some more ammo crates up here by this fire barrel. I figured that he probably makes like rounds up here at night to defend the settlement. Just paces back and forth. Considering Danse, he doesn't really need to sleep. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah. And then power armor station, pretty minimal decorations. The reason for minimal decorations in this build is because if you didn't notice, like halfway through the build, I hit the build limit, and it's like the 10th time that I've hit the build limit and had to lower it. And that's like almost solely because of decorations, because I decorate heavily. And so you'll notice in here I've just got like a Righteous Authorities up there, which is Dance's laser rifle that he gives you, and then a couple crates and a little area for him to relax, and then some more supplies. But very minimalistic, and overall I think it's a really nice build. But if you guys like this, make sure you guys let me know. Check out some of my other videos while you're here. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. If you're not, share it with somebody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.